Hey, life is the mission. What's the big deal about using the name of God in vain? Good question. I've always heard that any advertisement was good advertisement, right? Why not for God's name as well? Think about this. Do you have a good mechanic who works on your car or motorcycle or bicycle, whatever you drive? My dad was one of the most devout religious individuals to walk the planet Earth. But when he wanted his car repaired, he went to a guy who would use the F-bomb so much it would make Richard Pryor or Cardi B blush. This guy was a foul-mouthed, chain-smoking, hard-drinking mechanic that knew his mechanical stuff. And he had girly pictures on the wall on calendars. At 13, I loved going there with Dad. It was there I learned most of the bad words I know today and how to use them as nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositional phrases, and standalone statements. One day, Dad explained to me why he went to F-word Frank, the mechanic, rather than Carl, the Christian mechanic. He said this. Now, I want you to think about this. He said, there are many people who attach the name of Christian or God to their business. They use their faith to promote their work. And then they do shoddy work. And that represents their faith, and they try to use their faith to overcome their bad work. Listen, that's what this is all about. The third greatest life-giving directive engraved by the Creator on the tablets of stone was this: don't use the name of the Lord your God in vain. I think this law, life hack, prescription, directive, commandment can be interpreted in three possible ways besides that one, okay? You be the judge of the validity of each, will you? I know you will, okay? First, the Creator was warning people not to use holy branding with anything that might possibly be anything less than the best Creator quality. Don't create an image of yourself built on the Creator, because that is way too much for you and for me to live up to. We need to let our words be the truth and for our talent to speak for itself. Don't fluff up your resume with holy dependence, okay? On a side note, if you hold to the belief in the Trinity, as Catholics, Orthodox, and most Protestants do, you believe that Yeshua, Jesus, is co-equal a God. So using His name without reverence is equal to using the name of God. Just want to say that so we understand it all, okay? If I say I'm a Christian, Christ-like person, I need to live a life similar to Christ and not run around with my secretary. AKA, if I declare myself to be a Christian minister, AKA Christ-like minister, pastor, maybe I need to heal a few people, dig, okay? Maybe my work should feed a few thousand people each weekend, too. Of course, the statements apply only to the Trinitarians. Okay, the second possible directive postulation goes out to people like myself who dare to attempt to speak for or about the Creator through a podcast, YouTube, or pulpit on Sunday. We must make sure that when we speak for God, that we are speaking for Him and not for ourselves. There is no room to use the name of God in vain. Okay? No vainness in how we use it. Maybe that's why the great Apostle Paul said of one of his own writings, he said, I don't know if this is from the Creator or from me. Yes, he wrote that down. It's in the New Testament. Look it up. Find it. It's interesting. My third contemplation is this. We need to honor the authority of the Creator's names and titles. For an illustration, let's say you were the president and your name was Bob, okay? President Bob. I somehow believe that you would personally feel cheapened if every time I hit my knee or lost a lottery scratch-off ticket or was surprised by a mosquito that I yelled, "Oh my President Bob," okay? What do you think? Is that a fair statement for me to make? What if I yelled the name of your most beloved child every time I hit my thumb with a hammer? Ow! You know, are you with me here? Now again, if the Creator was killing people who used the sacred name or the sacred title in vain or the name of His Son, we would all be dead from one of the possible explanations above. So what is the big deal then if there are no repercussions? Who cares there, dude? What good question. What is the problem with religious branding or creating or claiming that the Creator gave you inspiration or shouting OMG upon seeing your favorite YouTube star or accidentally passing gas? Was that too much? But I've heard it done. I believe it affects our own mind. No longer is the Creator's name or position associated with miracles, as daily it's associated with the trivial and the unimportant. See, I know that familiarity breeds contempt. I wonder if familiarity weakens our faith too. So finally, this direction is to give you power and authority. In grace and wisdom, the Creator wants us to understand the freedom that is attached to one God. This God is bigger than any man-made image, a God whose name and title is to be taken with great respect so that it will have great meaning and power in your life. The ancient story of the sheep-herding young boy who thought it was funny to rouse the town late at night by calling out, "Wolf, wolf," and waking the townspeople. Do you remember that one? The townspeople would wake up and they would come running for the false alarm, and the little boy would laugh. But the night came that the real wolf was genuinely on the prowl. And the boy cried out, "Wolf, wolf." And the townspeople said, "No, we're not going to go. It's just another prank." But unfortunately, that night the wolf had his way with the sheep and maybe even with the boy. The Creator does not want us to be our own boy who cried wolf. The Creator wants to use His name and title to be something that moves the person using it, moves the person hearing it, moves the world. In fact, some of the ancient texts promise some sort of ramifications to those who forget this. Remember that. The Hebrew's most sacred name for God was almost forbidden to be used by human voices. Do you know what that name was? Look it up. Google the 4-letter most holy name of God, Hebrew. Think about it. My wonderful neighbor is a Muslim history teacher. I love him. He does a little head bow and says, "Peace be unto him," every time he mentions Allah or the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. That is respect for a name and considered among the highest and most meritorious acts of his religion. We could learn from that. As God's name or title is tossed around more than the F-bomb at a frat house, the name or title is cheapened by the very one throwing it around. There will come a time when you will need to believe in that name. Don't get caught with a powerless name. Every Big Ten life hack, every one of the God's 10 greatest directives, commandments, are for your benefit. I challenge anyone to tell me how the life hacks could bring a person anything less than benefit. Now go out and live victoriously and lovingly this week. Let your resources be for those in need. Give, offer, tithe to God by investing in those who are His most needy children around the world. Next time we talk about the joys of sleeping in, the religious joys of sleeping in. Do you know there was a religious portion of why you should sleep in, okay? Be with us. Bring a friend. Don't oversleep this one. I really appreciate that you join us each week or whenever you can on YouTube. I enjoy our times together. I hope they inspire you. I hope they give you joy. I hope they give you insight and inspiration to be the best person you can be, no matter what your denomination is, your religion, your calling. I know that we have some friends of mine who are atheists who watch this. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you wanting to understand our side of the discussion. I'm not even going to call it an argument. The discussion. Love to you all. Peace to you all. Thanks.